Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast, presents episode 819, Floods of Change, recorded live on April 14th, 2022. Hello everyone, welcome to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Duststorm.
I'm your other co-host, Godzilla T.
And we, once again, are hostless tonight, unfortunately. He's in the middle of trying to sell his house, and in the final stages of that, so he's going to just go on temporary leave until that whole situation is done and accounted for, and he actually has time to focus on being a co-host when he has time. Whenever
getting
that
rid of
happens.
a house is all-consuming.
Yeah, it kind of takes over your life a little bit. So,
as well as buying a house.
Both processes are in depth. Yes. But we wish Hosh the best. We will have him back at some point, for sure. Given whenever he's available and all the house situation with him selling and moving and buying is all done. So we'll see him in a couple months, I guess. I'm not sure what his timetable is, but he'll be back.
I don't even have missing a host tonight. Damn.
Yep, I don't either. Talking about the bingo card. But let's go ahead and jump on into our quick Podtacular community recap for the last week. GT, we played some Infinite on Friday.
Yes, we did.
It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Infinite is slowly getting more and more fun for me.
Well, I mean, it's always been fun for me. Yes, it's taken me some time to adjust to the mechanics of Halo Infinite, but it's doing well. With the improvements that have been made, it's been a lot more stable. Yes, as Pens points out, we actually had a good stockpile game.
We did.
Actually, we had a couple of them.
Even a couple of the ones that we lost felt somewhat balanced. They were kind of unfortunate situations that we lost in, but they felt pretty good.
The whole pushing the pile with the repulsor is that just needs to be fixed. That's
a little OP. Yeah.
Well, I actually got the repulsor at the beginning of a match, and I was actually able to push every single one of the cores towards our base. Now, granted, I didn't make it all the way. I got killed, but that is just...
Those are them strats, man. Them good strats. But yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. It's a feature. Yeah, no.
I think we had, a total of, or max of 7 at one point, and with all the players rotating in and out, about 10 people on Friday?
No, we had 7 or 8. Something like that.
Okay. Still pretty good turnout.
I mean,
yeah.
We had a lot of fun. You know, people do have real lives and they have to get back to them. So it happens.
It does. So, well, very good. As far as achieving Halo went, I was on doing some Spartan Assault again. Was working on Operation B. Got a couple of achievements in there till my internet died out midstream. It was out for, I think, about 5 to 10 minutes. So at that point, it's like, well, I got a couple achievements, so just gonna let that pass by the wayside.
My internet died, so I quit. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good reason.
Oh, all of a sudden I'm like, why is OBS showing all red? And then I try to refresh the stream. Why is Twitch not loading? And then trying everything else, like, oh, my internet's down. Great. So, weird little fluke.
Try turning it off and turning it back on again. Oh, sorry.
Well, by the time that would have been an option, everything started coming back. So I just I got a couple achievements, so I just called it a night.
That's good. At least you're making forward progress.
Yep. I managed to get gold on all but one of the missions in Operation Bravo. And also got the achievement for completing Operation Bravo, because the completion achievement doesn't go across the different titles. Some of them do, but not all of them do. So basically, I had to replay through Operation Bravo until I guess I got the ones that were considered missing on that version of the game. So I got the Operation Bravo achievement and then the one with the jackals where you don't let them regenerate their shields.
Yeah.
So 2 achievements down.
That's good.
I've got, I think, 12 more to go on the Xbox One version and 13 to go on the 360 version and some more on the Surface version, which won't be streaming those because getting the Surface to output to another display for a device that old is a little difficult.
You still running yours on Windows 8?
So I have a Surface RT, which can only run Windows 8.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you are running the light version.
Yep. I have an original Surface Pro, which I had it on Windows 10, and then it auto-updated to one of the Windows 11 Insider builds because I had that on the Insider preview. But now, since it doesn't meet the hardware requirements, I can't downgrade it and I can't upgrade it, so now I'm stuck in the Windows 11 OS.
You can't just you can't take it back to Windows 8 and then upgrade it again?
I have to figure out how to reinstall like the original OS because it only has 32 gigs of onboard storage. So like I had to plug in a USB drive just to get it to upgrade to Windows 10 originally.
Yeah.
To like download the files so it had enough space to so the old install doesn't exist. I'd have to somehow USB key install Windows 8 or Windows 10 on it. So I got to figure out how to do that on the Surface.
You probably just have to reinstall Windows 10 from a USB stick.
Yeah.
And just wipe the drive, repartition it.
Yeah, that's probably what I need to do. Is there a recovery console? Well, no, I can't restore it since there's nothing to restore to.
It didn't have enough memory to
the
save
onboard storage is literally that
10.
small. It cannot keep those files. It's like 32 gigs of onboard storage for the original Surface Pro.
Yeah, I've got one too.
Surface Pro V1. But that's for another time. I'll see if I can get Windows 10 back on it. Anyways, so that was Achieving Halo. I'll be back again this weekend, but didn't do Halo 5 with Prestige because he forgot to install it. So,
oops.
Yeah. Might be doing that on Sunday this week, though. So we'll see. I'll either be on Spartan Assault or Halo 5, depending on if Prestige is there or not. So, reminder again, if people are interested and willing to help out with Prestige on some Halo 5 campaign stuff, please reach out to us and let us know, or could just come join us on Sunday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll have some fun.
I have a dock for the Surface Pro.
Ooh. I didn't know they had.
Yeah, they have a desktop dock for it.
Oh, cool.
If you want, it's got a display out on it. Mini display port.
Right. I know the Pro does the. Oh, that's right. So the Pro has the Thunderbolt 2, and then the Surface RT has this little mini thing that's not probably going to focus because I have it manual focused. But it's like a mini DP or mini HDMI port on it. So I potentially could. And then just mirror the output. So I might do that. We'll see. But either Halo 5 or Spartan Assault next week for Achieving Halo. Hey Comfal, hey Laird, welcome to the party. Let's see. In community Podtacular news, we've got a couple of things from Laird that he's been posting. He got a hold of him. Laird, since you're here, I don't know if you might need to correct me on a couple of things, but you got hold of, or you printed, or you bought a model of the Bumblebee Escape Pod. I don't know what scale it is, but then you were also showing off a RC scaled down version of the, not the elephant, but the other thing from Halo 4. Mammoth. So some cool little
elephant.
Some cool little things that have been shown off by Laird.
Mm-hmm.
That mammoth looks really, really cool.
Modeled from scratch, 1/25th scale. Wow.
Wow. And there's even the little Hot Wheels Warthog for scale. done by RJ from 343. I don't know who RJ is. I don't recognize them by the name RJ, I guess. Yeah. And I think there was one other thing I wanted to touch on. Oh, yes. Where is it? There it is. So Image Cosplay has been working on the George armor, and he's been working on the chest piece. Posted a picture of that. And then Forda de Dawn posted a new podcast called Space Garbage Island, talking about the first 3 episodes of the Halo TV series, which will be nice to listen to when we've actually had a chance to watch the TV series. So, sorry, Fuchs, but it's going to be about a month at least before we actually have a chance to listen to your podcast. But thanks for sharing, for those that want to go and listen to what they have to say.
And Halo Canon's also been doing videos on each episode, so
yep,
you can also check that out as well.
Very good. We've got a couple of 343 announcements. One big one and a few small ones. Let's hit the small ones first. Just a reminder, HCS Kansas City is kicking off in 2 weeks. There are some tickets, spectator tickets available at aka.ms/kc22-tickets. There's also team passes still available as well. So for anyone who's in the area and wants to go, not GT, unless he changes his mind, then that is available.
I can guarantee you I'm going to have to work. So, because I am out of personal days. So,
okay. So GT won't be there, but you can, if you're there for some reason, you can say, hi, GT, since you'll be in the same area as he'll be.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's going on.
Shoot me pictures on Twitter. You can find me at Godzilla Todd.
Yep. Oh, well, okay. And this next one, I feel kind of stupid now. RJ Renola. So so Laird probably took these pictures from the employee spotlight. There's a new employee spotlight over on 343industries.com, and this is for RJ Renola, who's a senior environment artist at the studio. Certain Affinity is having some job openings. If you want to get into the gaming industry, Certain Affinity is a great place to work. They've supported Halo since Halo 2, and they've been loyal supporters of the Halo franchise since then. I've had a chance to meet Max Oberman. He's a great guy, and I know a couple of folks that work at Certain Affinity. Definitely a opportunity to look into if you want to get into the gaming industry. And they also have positions that support remote work. So head on over to their Twitter and find one of their latest tweets that's talking about their career openings that they have open at Certain Affinity. And I just had to mention this one too, since I intentionally bought season points to get this little unlock, but the Perfect Circle armor effect is returned to the Halo Infinite shop. So if you want to support the little Halo ring above your helmet, it's back in the shop.
You bought it again?
No, it's just back in the shop. I didn't buy it again.
I was going to say.
Yeah. And for those that are watching the Halo TV show as it's being released, episode 4 was out today. Again, we'll be not talking about it until the season is done, when we can redeem the Paramount Plus and binge watch the whole thing, or we can buy the Blu-ray, whatever is easiest and more convenient to get to.
The Blu-ray is going to be several months down the road, I'm sure.
And sometimes they release them pretty quick after, especially if it's just a digital release.
Yeah.
So we will see. We'll see what happens. And the big news, obviously, is a pretty big update to Halo MCC. Forgot one other piece of moderately sized news, but we'll get to that after the MCC update. So we've been teased for a while that there was going to be an update coming to MCC, and we got a pretty big one. So lots of content and updates and fixes coming to Halo Infinite from the Season 1 outcomes, coming into Season 2 in a couple of weeks. And then MCC is just getting a whole bunch of stuff too. Biggest thing is Flood and Firefight.
The Flood have infected ODSTs.
They have. And they can actually infect ODSTs.
Yes.
As we'll get to in just a second. But just kind of cover the bases. There is now the FloodFight in ODST Firefight, which is, as it suggests, you will fight hordes of flood in Firefight. There's a few key differences and some updates that have also been made to the overall Firefight experience. The visor map will now show you enemy locations on the mini-map that you bring up, even when you're respawning, so that's pretty cool. Getting a more situational awareness of the whole battlefield instead of just being your little, basically just telling you where you are on the map. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Probably also helpful for when you're in like that last round and you don't know where that one last enemy is. So you can just pull up the mini-map.
That's always been difficult.
You have to like wait and listen for some kind of audio cue on where they are. But that's a pretty cool feature enhancement.
It always winds up being a freaking chieftain or something hiding in a corner.
I've had it be grunts sometimes.
I have too, but more chieftains than grunts.
Yep. Hey, Bobby, welcome to the stream. We've also got Energy Sword and Sentinel Beam being able to be used in ODST Firefight.
Mm-hmm.
And they also will spawn in Fiesta Fight as well, so those are brand new weapons being introduced to the Halo 3 Firefight experience specifically. There's also some additional mix of new enemies being brought in as well for Fiesta Firefight, such as Elites and Flood. As you remember, ODST was primarily just the Brutes, Jackals, and the Grunts, and the Drones and Hunters, so now there are Elites that will come in to fight against you. There's also some update improvements to changing weapons, so you can actually trade weapons with friendly Marines. You
have friendly Marines now.
Yep. Some fixes that were introduced to Halo Reach, so you can now trade those with your friendly Marines. And also, if you're doing versus Firefight and you're on the Covenant side, you can trade with other Covenant enemies, or other Covenant allies in that case, as well. You also can interact with the passenger seats and vehicles, and allies will actually jump out of the vehicles now. So that's nice as well. Lots of little things that are really good in here. For the Flood fight, Flood are accompanied by dense fog, which gives each new Firefight mission a new spooky ambiance, which is pretty cool. Just have this big flood cloud come in as the different groups of Flood enemies are coming in. You'll see this fog dynamically fade when Flood wave spawns and fade back out when Covenant waves come back in instead. So there will be variants where you can actually mix Flood and Covenant engagements in ODST Firefight. Flood can occupy vehicles, which is pretty scary. Seeing a combat form on a turret might be a cause for concern. There are new animations for Flood enemies, supporting them coming into Firefight, allowing them to use the vehicles and traverse environment more easily, and wield additional weapons like turrets.
Yeah.
So now the Flood can pick up turrets. Like if they weren't scary enough. So yeah. The Flood combat forms are 3 different kinds: infected ODST, infected elite majors, and infected civilians. You've also got the pure forms. So the stalker form, the ranged form are going to be in Firefight. They didn't mention the tank form, so I'm guessing that was probably a little too much. So I guess that's not going to be an enemy type, maybe. Flood can also drop in via dispersal pods. So they really put a lot of it in here for Flood. What else in here? There's new boons added to the map. So there's going to be weapon racks that contain assault rifles and battle rifles. So you can go and refill weapons. Kind of how in Halo Reach they added those ammo racks where you could go back and refill. So those are being introduced into ODST Firefight. With the addition of the Flood stuff.
Submachine guns and pistols don't cut it.
No.
Not very well, at least.
Nope. On some maps, there will be the flamethrower to fend off the Flood. And on a couple other maps, you'll get Marines and MPD officers that will help you combat the Flood. So you get little allied AIs in Firefight now.
Actually, I think on some maps you also will get elites.
Yes. On the night maps, you will also get elites that can come in via drop pod and provide aid to you fighting Flood as well. So that's cool. So that's all the updates to Firefight, which is basically a whole brand new experience now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to get in there and try it. There will probably be some challenges behind it too.
Yeah. After doing the 4-hour marathon to get to that one achievement, I'm pretty much done with ODST Firefight.
You don't even want to just try it and see what the difference is like?
No, don't get me wrong.
You don't have to play 4 hours.
I might go in and goof off it for a little bit, but yeah, I won't be playing it for very long.
Very good. Alert saying you can fight sentinels in Firefight 2. I'm not seeing that in here in this update, unless that was something added before. It's not mentioned in this article, though. Something I did forget to mention is if you die and you're playing against Flood, the Flood boards can infect you. So be careful, because you might die and then you get infected, and then they'll start killing your buddies off. So, yeah.
We don't vote game types. We vote games.
Right. I was going to say, I don't think that's going to really sway the difference there, Pins. And plus, if the party gets bigger than 4, no Firefight.
And then there may be an override.
Yeah, maybe. Just maybe.
Anyways.
So, again, get into MCC and try it out. I will probably try it out at some point, especially if there's challenges behind it. It's a really cool addition, and I know we've been asking for some kind of Flood Firefight as a community for a long time, and now we're actually getting it. So this is really cool. There's some UI improvements to customizations, so you can now actually preview the Firefight voices for Halo Reach like you could in the original game, which is nice. There's some other just overall UI improvements that were made. Custom Game Browser now supports all games in the Master Chief Collection. And there is a new added feature to support automatic team changing. So whenever someone actually joins a match or when a new match begins, it'll actually help distribute teams automatically instead of having people to change teams manually after they actually join in the game. So that's nice.
Oh, by the way, just scrolling through the article, and there is a shot of a tank form in Firefight.
Okay, so I guess they just didn't mention it specifically in that section. So yeah, you get all 3 pure forms of Flood then in ODST Firefight. That'll be scary, especially as an ODST. Wonder if they've changed the damage tables for those just because it's ODSTs instead of Spartans. Maybe? No?
I think you still deal with them the same way.
Yep. Whole bunch of firepower and shotguns, rockets, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of updates that's been made available for forgers and mod tools. So in Halo Reach, Halo 4, and Halo 2 Anniversary, and this is pretty big, there are now team-based kill volumes. So now you can set a kill or a safe volume to a given team, and then the boundary only affect those team members. So since this is the first example that came to mind for like the it's not Castle Wars and not Roshan, but whatever, Husky Raid, the Husky Raid type ones. Like the spawn zone, you can set that to be a safe zone for one team, and then if another team goes in there, it's a kill barrier.
That's nice.
There's a lot of potential that you can do with forging and mini games that have this.
Work good for Griffball too.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, teams can. Yeah, that might help. Well, yeah, you can put a soft kill value so people don't camp too long.
No, insta kill.
Well, you don't want to insta kill because then you can't actually, like, you need that back wall for strategy sometimes.
No, you just put them around the spawn points.
Yeah, but then if you're
a little bit of cushion.
But if you're running through there, like you're running someone in, that's instantly dead. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, neither does having a soft kill either, because they'll just hang around in the soft kill until someone spawns and step out, reset it, and go back in.
Nah, That's
Anyway.
just not a thing that you can fix with these. It's still a cool feature. I am very curious to see what the community does with these new kill and safe volumes, because that's something that's very powerful to control player movement with. So we've got several bugs that were also fixed, some random things regarding colors being lost whenever you start new rounds. There's also fixes for the target locator, and this is something that I didn't know was a thing, but weather is now synchronized across devices in Reach. I don't know and didn't know that was a thing that mattered, but there you go, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of it is, but I guess modders probably do. Seems like a weird one. 343 is experimenting with crossplay for campaign. So for Halo 3 and ODST, crossplay for campaign is now available. They're looking to expand the feature. Right now, this is kind of a beta test. So they've internally tested it, and they're putting it out for Halo 3 and ODST for the community to test. And it sounds like this is something that they're going to roll out across the board, depending on how testing goes. They've made some fixes and improvements to having campaign customization in Halo 4. So now whenever you go into Halo 4 campaign, you can have your customized weapon skins that you have configured in your loadouts applied in campaign. That's kind of cool. If that's something that you've been looking for.
But you're still Master Chief.
You are still Master Chief. You don't get your custom armor, just the custom weapon skins. And if you trade them with allies, the skin will stay. So you can see allies rocking the skin that you have on your weapon. That's kind of cool. Halo 3 has been given 51 new multiplayer medals for multiplayer. These do fall under the new medal UI. And they've actually added a nice little option in here. There's a original plus medal option. So for all of the medals that have a Halo 3 version of them, you can see just the Halo 3 version for those, plus the new unified medal UI for Halo 3. There's also an option for original only.
Amen, Pins.
A lot of people love Halo 3.
That requires playing Halo 3 multiplayer.
A lot of people love Halo 3.
And nobody knows how I feel about Halo 3 because I never talk about it.
So there's also a off setting now with the medals as well. If you don't want any medals whatsoever and you just want the kill feed, now there's the option to not even have medals present for Halo 3.
I don't know. I kind of like having the medals pop up.
I do too. There's something about the medals that's kind of just the little reward factor. Feeding that little chemical reactions in our brains. There's going to be some adjustments to monthly challenges. They're now going to be called tactical exercises. Why? I don't know.
Is this like SWAT versus Tactical Slayer?
That was the first thing that came to mind when I originally read that line. I don't know, and it seems like a silly change to me. Anyways, they'll now grant points, I guess, instead of XP or in addition to XP. It says they will now grant points, which you can spend in the exchange. I think it's just a swap out.
I think maybe before they just did XP only.
The monthly challenges, there were some that had points and some that had XP. So I guess the monthly challenges, so there's still going to be the daily and not the daily. There's still going to be the weekly challenges, I guess. I guess the monthly ones are just tactical exercises. So instead of it being a mix of points and XP, and some of them had unlocks tied to them, I guess they're only going to grant points for the new monthly challenges or tactical exercises. The current seasonal challenges will shift into a 28-day cadence and award XP and or points that you can spend on previous seasons or the exchange. They've also added a whole bunch of skulls to Halo 3 and ODST based on skulls that have been in other games, namely Combat Evolved and Halo 2 Anniversary.
They've added the Acrophobia skull to Halo 2.
They did.
So now you can fly around like a
And
madman.
Halo 3 ODST.
They did adjust it for Halo 2. It's now you're not as liable to splatter yourself. I don't know if the same adjustment's been made to Halo 3, but
yeah. Some of them are experimental. So there's a little warning that you'll get pop-ups as this is an experimental skull.
Mm-hmm.
It may cause unexpected behavior.
Imagine that.
So use at your own risk. But we've got...
Because, Feather and Sputnik are so much fun.
They are. So Halo 2 has the addition of acrophobia. Halo 3 has the addition of anger, bandana, bonded pair, boom, eye patch, foreign, ghost, jacked, malfunction, master blaster, pinata, recession, so angry, swarm, that's just wrong, and they come back. Halo 3 ODST has all the same listed above, minus they come back, and it also had added the acrophobia skull.
I tell you what, after recording an episode with the Master Blaster skull on in Halo 2, it's actually kind of fun. It's kind of fun for one person at a time.
Right. It's like, okay, one person goes ahead and the other one stays back, and then whenever when does it flip?
It'll flip every few kills. It will flip, or deaths. It will flip. But if you can get each person a sniper rifle and a rocket launcher, you just
Yep.
Because it's infinite ammo too.
For the player that doesn't have overshield.
No, well, for both players, they automatically get infinite ammo. The one that has overshield just can't fire the weapon.
Can't fire it, or just shouldn't fire it to keep the ammo?
No, can't.
Wait, really?
No, the player with
can only melee
loses the
wow.
Yeah. Loses the ability to fire weapons.
That's right.
Except for the plasma pistol for some reason.
Until it changes like, oh crap. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't do that on Legendary.
I did.
For the videos?
Metropolis.
Okay. Gotcha. Looking ahead, there are still a lot of things that the team is planning to do, namely bug squashing, releasing customization, and other items that have been worked on but haven't been released yet. I'm hoping we get the rest of the other Halo 3 maps from Halo Online. Yeah, Halo Online. Hope we get those maps into Halo 3. They also want to make sure that there are modding tools available for each game and that there's modding support through the Steam Workshop.
That's
good. Nice to manage those mods through the Steam Workshop instead of having to manually download them. Although Nexus Mods is a pretty reputable place, and that's where most mods live for that kind of stuff. But it's nice to...
Well, it's also nice, being integrated into Steam.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be a more friendly place for more people to try mods.
For most, yeah.
A little less overwhelming as far as the installation of the mods.
Yep.
Because, I'll be honest, that's the reason I don't try a lot of these mods, because of the not user-friendly things you have to do to install them and still protect your game.
Right. Be nice if there's just like a mods folder and it's like, you want to use mods or not? Nope. Okay. Don't use the folder. You do? Okay. To the disable the anti-cheat and let mods go. So there's also a post-match customization screen that they're looking to have for a post-game Carnage report, which will support poses for both Spartans and Elites. Campaign collectibles, so having shootable things like the MOA collectibles in Halo 3 added to CE2, 3 ODST, Reach, and 4. The underlying code to support them is complete. Just the collectibles haven't been placed yet. Halo CE and Halo 2 will just have the collectibles appear in classic visuals. ODST will have a yellow outline whenever you have your visor mode on, which is kind of cool.
Well, it fits with the game. Does. So that's good.
And some more things regarding accessibility, including improved subtitle support, controller mapping, and additional campaign accessibility options. As they move away from seasonal releases, they're going to make corresponding changes to the UI to reflect those changes. And they actually mentioned post-season or post-feature complete, as in they're, I guess there's some kind of point that they're considering the game actually complete after 8 years.
I'm sure they'll still continue to work with it.
Oh, yeah.
We probably won't be getting large updates like this.
No. But they're looking to continue to support things throughout the rest of the year, and they will continue to support upgrades and bug fixes as needed. It has definitely brought up the question for a lot of people, Halo 5 support.
Yeah, can you do the same thing for Halo 5 as you did for MCC?
It'd be nice. They made a lot of improvements to what they can do with the game, and just showing how much they could add and Forge and stuff was impressive. But yeah.
Although I think in Halo 5
they were butting up against some limits for Forge at least.
Yeah, they were actually at the limit of items for Forge. The game just couldn't physically handle more. Now, there could be changes they could make to the code to increase that, but I don't know what, I don't know if they would look at that or not.
So that's what's in the article. There is a patch notes entry on the forums if you want to go and get a whole bunch more in-depth detail on specifics that are in the game as well. And then the other thing that happened this week is the release of the Halo Encyclopedia. Pins is apparently almost halfway through it, even though it just started I think it only released a couple days ago, minus some of the folks that got early copies. There's a full roundtable discussion on YouTube that's about 50 minutes long, hosted by several folks that contributed to the creation of the encyclopedia. It is the largest encyclopedia book, if not the largest Halo book, I think, that has been published to date. I will be getting my version of the deluxe copy next week, but I haven't had a chance to watch the video. I know GT hasn't had a chance to watch the video, but I've heard a lot of great things about people responding to it well on Twitter. There is an article on Waypoint that lists out the glossary, or maybe a partial glossary of what's in the encyclopedia. So if you haven't pulled the trigger yet on wanting to get the encyclopedia, but you want to see what's in it, then the glossary is a good way to kind of get a little glimpse of what kinds of things are actually going to that you'll be able to learn about and get more information about in the encyclopedia. Might tip your wallet one way or another on whether or not you want to purchase the book. And that's all the Halo news I think I have, unless GT, you're aware of anything that I missed.
No, nothing that I've heard about.
But FloodFight is huge. I know a lot of folks are excited about that. The couple of additions to Forge, especially the safe and kill boundaries per team, is pretty significant for Forge. Cross-platform campaign co-op is a big plus. And just overall quality of life fixes. We've got a lot of good Halo content coming to us over the next month. And all of this stuff is pretty much live.
Now I'm going to have to go download Spartan Assault and Spartan Strike on my Surface. I think I keep it down there by my down there.
I need another person to play the multiplayer with, but that's Xbox One and 360 if you've got those on there.
Yeah. Well, I own them. I just
download them.
Actually install them.
So, but yeah, shorter cast tonight. Not a lot of news, and I didn't have a chance to get too much done. Can you still get them on Surface? You have to get for the Surface specific one. You have to get it from the. I don't know if the version that was released for the Surface a while ago is the same one that's on the Windows Store. It might be. But yeah, you can still get it. You can't get the 360 version anymore. But yeah, I guess Windows Store is probably the same one. I don't know. I'll check after the podcast. and see.
Hmm.
There will be no podcast next week. My parents are in town, so I'll be preoccupied. GT, any inkling on whether or not you'll be playing, or kind of leave that up to, we'll see when it gets there?
I have no idea. Okay. That is a week away.
So
I'm not even really sure what I'm doing tomorrow.
fair point.
Currently, there is no plans, but we'll see.
Just make sure you're tuned in to Twitter and Discord. GT will probably make a post or ask me to make a post, and we'll get something out to everyone on what will be happening next Thursday. Friday is our Fraggin' Fridays, hosted by GT. Make sure you go and vote in our Discord, podtacular.com/Discord, for which game you would like us to play. Options are the Master Chief Collection, which now has a bunch of new content, so could tip the scale tomorrow. We'll see. We've also got Halo 5, and we've got Halo Infinite. So head on over to our Discord and make your vote if you plan on attending and want to influence what game that we'll be playing on Friday. Otherwise, just come watch the stream on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We've also got Achieving Halo at Sundays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be either doing Halo 5 campaign or Spartan Assault. Depends on if Prestige has this game installed, which I think he was trying to install on Sunday last week, and what other people that we have available to play with us. So if you're interested in Halo 5 helping us out, or if you need it yourself, feel free to come on over and let us know. And then we've also got the podcast every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, except for next week, which I'll be off. GT may be hosting a game night of some kind. We'll see and let you know. You can find us on social media across Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We also have numerous ways that you can support the podcast, either by just sharing us on social media, leaving us a review on podcasting services. You can also support us financially if you would like to do so as well. You can subscribe to us on Twitch. You can become a patron over on Patreon, along with Confal, Prestige, and Pins. Or you could donate to us directly if you so choose. Podtacular.com/donate to do that. Well, GT, it's been good. Lots of good stuff for MCC. Lots of good stuff coming for Halo Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing good things about the Halo TV show when we get a chance to watch past episode 1. All in all, we're in a decent...
Well, honestly, I've been hearing a mixed bag. Some people are just
picky,
not getting into the silver timeline. And I get it. I mean, I understand, but I also understand why they're doing it the way they're doing it. None of really the established Halo books and or games really translate to movies or TV shows that well. So, there's liberties being made.
Sure.
It's the same with, any book that's been made into a movie. It's not a direct one-to-one. Sometimes the movie's better, sometimes the book's better. And it's all based on taste. Yep. So,
as is most things.
From what I've seen of it so far, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it.
Yeah, from the first episode that we had a chance to talk about and watch, yeah, it's not the Halo timeline that we're used to. And as long as you don't really get picky about that too much, it's a good show.
Well, I think they're being pretty true to the storytelling that Halo has done.
Like kind of the format, you mean, or the...
Yeah, the format of it. Yes, they're not quoting the core canon. They are changing some things up. But they also, they're also having to catch new viewers up to what the Halo fans know. So there's liberties that have been taken, which is fine.
Yeah.
I honestly don't have any problem with it. So far, it's a good start to a story. I think it will go well. So,
agreed.
It's already better than the show that will not be named.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to us on Twitch or downloading us via your favorite podcasting service. We appreciate all the support that you give us week in, week out, whether you're coming and watching the stream or you're listening to us. We appreciate every single one of you. For those that celebrate it, happy Easter. And until next time, keep on fracking them trucks.